Good morning, friends. Today I'm going to be putting all planting aside for a few. We have this planted up. You guys are giving me back some tremendous feedback. It sounds like white azaleas is kind of leading the way. And this space right through here. Sounds like everybody wants that, suggest that white azaleas are perfect. However, everyone also says that they are very ugly as they start to go away. So today I have a couple, I'm going to put that on stall because we have a couple nights tonight and tomorrow night that are going to be pushing freezing temps. So I think right around 33, it went from 32 to 33. So we're going to do a different project. And those of you who've been following me for a while, our lighting project here. So these all have solar panel lights inside. They used to be wrapped with solar panel lights. And then on top, we used to have little hanging lights, and I left one here so that one day whenever I started this project again, you could see that's what they look like. So we have the 7 posts on that side of the yard, and then we have these 6 above us. I'm going to be working in the front yard, one, because that's where my material's at and it's easier to cut there, but 2, it's windy and it's chilly. It's 40 something degrees, but I'm a busybody, so I have to be busy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out a way. You can see the rebar that runs across there. I think in my head I finally figured out a way that I could keep squirrels from chewing on that. That's why. So if I didn't tell you, the reason why I don't have any more lights up here and on the post is because squirrels will chew wire to keep their teeth sharpened. So unfortunately, I lost every bit of my lights, about every foot. It was almost like they strategically did it to me. About every foot they went through and they chewed all the way around. So all the wiring, I've got to get up there. You can see there's one more where I left it, but the little critters. So now today, I think I finally figured out a way. I'm going to take wood, 2x4s. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to place them up there, mark it off. And then I'm going to take a chainsaw to them, make them real weathered. Then I'm going to take and stain them. Stain or paint. I think it's going to be stain. We'll walk over here before we get started. And I'm going to stain them. And then I'm going to have a little channel that runs right down the middle. A little groove. And it's going to run right down the middle. So that I can stick that rebar back up in there. And it can kind of dangle a little bit. It's fine. So that the 2x4 will essentially lay on top, and then the rebar will be underneath where the light's wire will fit in those channels. So with any luck, by video's end, I will be able to light this bad boy up and see if it's worth a darn, because if not, and these squirrels win again, I'll have to go back to the thinking tank and see what we can do. But that being said, we've got a lot of boards to cut, a lot of boards to channel, rough up. Oh, and then, you know, get placed up here. But I also am thinking that because I want it to not just be a piece of wood up there, I'll look at it. But I'm also thinking about taking almost like a old dried up wreaths and untwining them a little bit and then spinning them through the post to look like old vines used to grow through that. If it all works out, in theory, if it all works out, it's going to be a beautiful piece. If not, we'll hold on to it until something magically appears in my brain, and then I can redo this. But very cold and windy back here. We'll move to the front, get started, and hopefully you come along for my little journey, because that is part of what we're doing here. Let's get started. Okay, friends, you can see the sun has faded. There's just a little bit of light left, but here's our ultimate project complete. We'll go down there, but I always like to give a vantage point from this spot right here. If you're wondering where we're standing, the moon gate is right there. Yes, eventually I will be adding lighting to the whole garden, the moon gate and everything, but I wanted to wait before I started doing anything with lighting that runs wires through the ground and stuff, because I dig and I do so much and I'm still adding. So eventually, this garden will light up like an amusement park, I assume. But let's head down there and check it out. I just wanted to kind of give you a vantage point from up here. I do have lights on the deck as well where we're standing, but we'll head down there and see how it turned out. I'm in love with it. I think it turned out really well. Look at the red bud above it and in between. It turned out so well. If you're wondering how we made this project in previously, last year we put this all together, and so you can go back and look at it. It's lighting project 1 and 2, I believe, but these right here used to be disc to a tractor. Then there's a couple bolts, washers, an eye bolt, and then of course some whimsical little battery operated lights, chicken wires holding up the Spanish moss. But it turned out really, really well. I was going to, there's like 5 or 6 operating motions on here where the lights blink and they flicker, they fade in and out. Gosh, there's a couple more modes, but I just left it at this so it was not too distracting. We'll come through here and we'll go around. If the camera's shaking just a little bit, I apologize. It is pretty cold. Turned out so well. So I only have to, oh, there's one right there that's doing its little, I guess I didn't set that one the way I wanted it, but it'll flicker in and out. And then of course we went through and I put that little groove in there. We kept the rebar so the squirrels will hopefully not be able to get in and chew that up. I don't think, for the moment, I don't think that they're going to spend the effort to hang upside down to chew on those. So you can see this one's starting to flicker off and on. That's one of the motions as well. It goes really well with the little theme we have here. I think it turned out really well. Hopefully the video is capturing it okay. It doesn't work so well in the dark, obviously. Then we'll come over here. Well, friends, I hope you've caught some inspiration and you can go out and start thinking about some lighting projects or just some simple lights for your patio, and everything will work out just fine. That being said, I think this is where I will call it the end of our video. Flip around one last time. It's my favorite view right through here. Okay, friends, see you on the flip side. Bye-bye.